According to Verizon, it's 5 o'clock, and the first thing I want to say is thank you to the city of Woodbury for allowing us to use their room here that the city council meets in, and the city mayor does their business, and it's good that the city of Woodbury and County still have a good working relationship, that we partner on many things about the budget and about other things, and have a good working relationship with the city of Woodbury. That's to be commended. As we begin here, we ended up last week, we listened to the director of schools, and after she finished, we decided to try to see if they can get by with 85 instead of 88. Is that not right? Okay.
Yeah.
And Commissioner Steakley has a handout that he's prepared since then, and he's going to hand it out to us and then make a few comments on that. So I'll turn it over to Glenn Steakley, and he can give us your what you figured out.
Thank you, Chairman Barker. On August the 6th, 2015, our budget committee reviewed an option budget proposal, and they approved it and sent it to the commission. That's pretty much what we're operating on in the 2015-16 year. I'm not going to waste time to tell everybody, because everybody on this committee, who I'm addressing, lived through what we did this part last year. Things do not look well at all. But our first handout I want to give you is, and I'm sorry for the black and white rather than color. We chose not to replace the color scanner at the county executive's office. So it had to be black and white. If you look at these, there are 45 accounts in the general fund. I want to talk about just the general fund right now. There are 45 accounts in the general fund. As the door closed, June the 30th of this year, after cutting 2.75% of spending out of the general fund, 27 of those accounts were under budget, as you can see. 18 were over budget. What that did is those 18 under budget added $222,567 to our ending balance. Those that were over, those 18 that were over, took out $23,630 of what we would have had in there. So overall, with both of them, at the end, the real number, the living number in there, is $198,937. $199,000. I don't think anybody expected that to happen this year.
No.
My projection did not show that. The reason this happened is because the department's heads in Cannon County were asked to do something that they were probably never asked to do, is to do more with less. And I want to thank them, a heartfelt thank you to all of them for making this happen, because they're the ones that made this happen. We didn't. And I thank them for that. Any questions on this handout?
And I'll reiterate that they have the day-to-day responsibility, and they're the only ones that can make it happen. But we asked them to do it, and they came through flying colors, I think.
Absolutely.
The 18 that were over, the budget was only $23,000. You divide that up, that's about $1,200 a piece. That's not much. They were cutting real close too.
Now, y'all honored me last year by using this budget. I hope that with the more experience than I had, the more questions I asked, the more data that I was able to crunch and analyze, that I hope you have a little confidence in what I have in front of you here. Now this is not a perfect budget, but neither was the budget for last year. This, what you have in front of you is a calculated, balanced budget based on the actual operating data that we're operating on this year. These are not lottery numbers. They're not something somebody pulled out of the air. All these numbers came off of our financial statement. Our financial statement that I've gotten from our county executive's office. That's these right here. Got probably 1 or 2 a week, and I've tracked it and monitored. But this is a balanced budget. If you will look on the second page, these are the adjustments that we agreed was necessary, because last year in the general fund we put a blanket over 2.75% cut. This year we didn't need to do that. All we needed to do was make the necessary adjustments from the results that we got from last year, and that's what this document is. But the necessary adjustments that we made and agreed to make in here, the first one was the state mandated increases, and that totaled $12,702. We have associated benefits to that we'll have to add to that, which is Medicare, Social Security, everything required for that. That's not a lot, and we'll rely on the county executive's office to adjust that. In the first proposal that I put in front of you, there were some contractor agreements that did not have enough money. All those contract agreements now have the full amount.
Okay. And that's the contract for the different offices in the courthouse too.
Any contracts that we have honored those and put the money back in.
Sheriff's Department, software, contract, and all that kind of stuff.
All that, yeah.
Okay.
Next one is the property assessor. I'm sorry, the next one, election department. There'll be 2 elections this year. We agreed that initially that we would leave that budget as was. Then we agreed to take out the $3,000 for the training costs of the board members. That has been taken out, that $3,000. Next is property assessor. To cover the property assessment this year, we agreed to leave that as submitted. Judicial commissioners, we left that at 2015-16 spending, plus added $941 for the training that we thought they needed for this year. Sheriff's Department reinstated membership dues of $2,000 is included in this budget. We also had to add $45,000 to the Sheriff's Department for the employee insurance increase where insurance went up. That is included in this budget. The fire department was left as presented, but the $1,650 for the office phone that's going to be put in the new office, it's enough in here to cover that. We made sure of that. Other emergency management, as we all agreed to reduce that to a total of $6, so we took out $7,806 from that. Most of that was for communications. Homeland Security, to cover the grant writer that they had requested to try to save some money on some grants, that was $1,300. We agreed to include that in their budget as well. Then the Extension Office, that was a benefits adjustment from what the University of Tennessee will not pay for the new employee they have over there, and we agreed that that was $44.23 that needed to be included into their budget. Any questions on that? Okay, if you turn.
This then is just a line by line thing of what we did over the last, 8 or 9 weeks, what we
Agreed to,
agreed. You
yeah.
see what that is, Brent? He's got everything that we went over before and just laid it down there, one on top of the other, what we,
I just
some of
want
it
to
we
make sure
reduced,
everyone
some.
knows that it's in there.
All right, it's in there, okay.
Now,
Go ahead.
as far as the departments, I did not go over line items. Well, I went over line items for each department several times to track them, to monitor them, to make sure that the money would be in there to cover what was needed to operate this year as to what was operated from last year. I kept in mind also that we infused a total of $106,000 budget amendments into this. Those have been taken into consideration. Outside each one of these is what this budget is for each department. It is what was spent on 2015-16, what was budgeted 2016, or what they requested, whichever was less. And either one of those categories, after looking at all the data for all year, I feel confident that that is close. Now, there are some in there like just identifying the pretty much what we just went over in the box on the second page. Any questions on that? The last year, in addition to the numbers we had in and the numbers we had out, we spent $66,000 in unprojected expenses. We talked about a pump for the swimming pool. I think a couple of air conditioners were replaced, a sound system for the courtroom, and we still ended up with, if you'll look on the second page, we still ended up, that has $228,294. Where were we this time last year? We were 2 weeks away from having to go to the First National Bank and borrow money to make payroll. And if anybody doesn't think that's progress, I'd like for you to tell me what is. But we didn't cause that. These department heads made this happen. And if you see any of them, you need to tell them thank you. There are 27 of these under budget and 18 over budget, I just mentioned earlier. These that are over budget, we'd like to ask them to try just a little bit harder to help us out. And these other 27 that have been under budget this year with that 2.75% cut that we asked them to take, be sure and tell them how much we appreciate it. This shows the estimated expenditures of this year of $4.852,899. Revenues show $4,908,027. These numbers move around a little bit, and today I can tell you from Friday's. This is based on Friday's data. Today's data reduces this $228,000 down to $225,000 because we had to pay some more bills this week. What this is compared to the last handout given to us by the county executive's office, what Diane had prepared. What this is $57,026 less than what that was. That's how close it is. Over $5 million budget. Total budget amendments is $142,000. I mentioned a little over $100,000 we infused in the first month, if you remember that. We shouldn't have to do that this year. Last year, the budget that this committee approved and sent to the commission to be approved, we cut $134,000 out of the general fund budget. Everybody hear that? $134,000 cut spending. Any questions on this? This is just what I have worked to come up with, and I know everybody on this committee crunches numbers. I understand that, but I always like to put mine in a form where everybody can see it and hold me to it.
I appreciate that. Jim, this is basically been on county general, where we have 141 estimated right now, and it's making our fund balance just a little bit better by being, what'd you say, 57,000? Yeah, 57,000. I was gonna get to it, yeah, I was gonna get to it. Make sure, yeah. Y'all understand what Glenn is, he's figured out some more things that we can tighten up on. Now,
I'm not finished.
all right.
Now let's talk about ambulance service. On the ambulance service, the approved budget for the ambulance service last year was $956,923. The amended budget on that was the same amount. There was no amendments on it. What I have proposed here is $931,289, and here's why. Last year, I had prepared to do the same thing on the ambulance service and solid waste that we did for general fund, and that's take 2.75%. I felt it was only fair. We did not do that, but I would like to do that now. I don't know if I have that with me, but anyway, those calculations are down there from 2015-16 spending, or 2014-15 spending. 2.75 of that would be $25,634. Now the committee can do whatever they want to about that. Also, the same thing for solid waste. Solid waste had a budget, approved budget, of $525,291. The amended budget was $547,191. And what I propose is $510,674. But the budget committee can do whatever they want to, take money out of that, put back in solid waste fund, or take it for. And I know debt service, we're going to have to address that before we leave tonight. But that's I think is something that we all need to discuss.
All right, let's back up. Now, you said on sanitation.
We want to, you have a question?
I'd like to finish my proposal before I answer any questions on the floor.
That's
Because
what-
this is for the committee here.
That's right, that's what you asked me to do, and I'm gonna try to do, I'll get to y'all.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
All right, now you said sanitation. You're wanting to bump it down to what?
The what?
You want,
What's your bump, what you know you want to bump?
what number you want to use?
I propose 510,674. It's in the last column, right over there on the bottom, Commissioner Bush. Now, like I said, we can do anything we want to with that. Whatever we think is fair, that's what we need to do.
And then on the ambulance, you was wanting to do,
And I had 931,289. But I want to tell you, if you'll look back on this first sheet I gave you, Director Ricky Coe, in my opinion, is one of the best managers that we have in this county. Not that we don't have a lot of good ones, but he's one of the best. And he operated 6.4% under the budget we gave him last year. That's awesome. That's all. He saved us $62,513. Did I answer your question? I believe I've talked enough.
All right, any other of the budget members have a comment or a question for Glenn before we Brent?
Well, I got a couple of questions. I appreciate Glenn's work. Just help me on the math. If we end up at 920 right now, we need to do over here on your second page for tax anticipation notes, 920, and we're good with 200,000. Should the number be more accurately, or we need to borrow to start the year off at $720,000?
You're right. You're right. We probably need to do that. I didn't venture too
that
far
right?
out on this.
Is that right, Mike?
What was your question, Rick?
Over here under tax anticipation notes, it says we basically projected that we need to estimate at 920K.
That's all they'll allow us to borrow. They've got a formula they go by, and we may not need that much, and we may need that much, but up to that, we can't go over that.
My point is though, that if we're setting at $198,000 right now, what Glenn said, at the end of the year, we shouldn't need but roughly 720K.
Hopefully, yeah. But we can borrow up to that 90.
It's still, again, that's what we have to start here on. Second question I got, if we're all in agreement with the schools being cut 3 cents, I think the disagreement, or maybe we can come to agreement, is where does that 3 cents go? I think that's something we need to discuss, on where it goes, back into the general fund, debt service, does it go to schools' debt service? Because we still have $1 billion out there that we haven't defined yet, how we're gonna pay that back to the schools. So that's a question I got. If we agree on the ambulance service 2 cents cut, I got that, and I appreciate Mr. Cope doing that. What I don't want to create is an adversarial relationship between the ambulance service and the county commission concerning raises. There's still raises in his budget, and that's what he actually stated, and I commended him for, taking care of the proverbial troops. But it also, we got to take care of, we as a body have to take care of all the troops. So that's the only thing I'd like to discuss, to look at what he really needs to do. And, because it's hard for me to say who's more important. The sheriff department, the secretaries, they're all important. Everybody is important. So that's the only thing I'm discussing. And then debt service, and the 500K for debt service, 500 plus that, or the new debt we have. I think we need to discuss that $500 and something thousand that repairs on the building, the 5 police cars, the 3.
Okay.
I feel like 5 is more than we need to bite off in 1 year. And, I understand if Darrell disagrees with me, but we've got some tight times here, and if we can, is there any drug or seized cars that you could use for some of your things that aren't necessary or something like that? That can be done, right?
I'm done using them.
All right, okay, and that helps, and I appreciate you using them. If we could get by with 3 this year and then get 2 next year, I'd feel like we'd be better. Go ahead, Jim.
All right, now the numbers he gave, with him doing his cuts and everything from ambulance, all right, that's $77,480, 3.5 cents, give or take. Solid waste, what he wants to drop down is 42,433. You're looking at 2 cents there. All right, that's 5.5 cents.
I didn't see 42,000.
Where's that?
All right, he went from 553 to 107. on solid waste down to 510,674. Is that right, Glenn?
Right, it's all the way.
No, solid waste.
Okay.
Solid
Yeah,
waste.
that's all.
All right, that's $42,433. That's 2 cents. Now, we come back over to ambulance, 1,008,769, dropping it down to 931,289, which leaves $77,480, which is roughly 3.5 cents. So you've got 5.5 cents float, which can go in.
Which is a good thing.
Yeah, which can go into debt service to cover.
Or it can be their fund balance that they have to have at the beginning of the year, so you don't have to borrow,
Well,
whichever one you want to do.
you know, if,
What percentage are we borrowing at?
We're not borrowing it. It's not,
We're not borrowing.
we're,
Well, I'm trying to say,
we're borrowing it from ourselves this
Well, I
year.
mean, okay, from last year though, we had,
The interest on it, I forget the percent, the interest on it was greater than 15,000, but less than 20. It was
Okay.
between 15 and 20. The interest, I think, was 3.5, but it don't hold me to that.
But we won't have to do
But
that
we won't
this
have
year.
to do that
No, with this year, we'll just take our own money.
And they said the reason, because we paid it back quicker than they expected, and they did that. The comptroller approved it out of five.
so as far as that goes, this 5.5 cents can go into debt service.
I know that's the words you came from. Okay.
Well, I mean, you know, we're looking at $1 million as far as what we've got to
And
pay
that-
That's
back.
what we can.
though, Jim, that we're gonna have to start up money though?
Well, see, the start money's coming out of debt service.
That's, well, if we was to pay our way without startup service, we'd have to add.
Yeah.
We'd have to add, that's what but at least we're, you know, from a, I know y'all say that I talk theory, but I mean, we've had them start at 50 cents. I mean, that gives you $1 million. And, you know, if you just do the rough math, that's 36 cents. Essentially, but we don't, I mean, again, we can borrow from the trustee with no penalty, and that's what we've done.
Yeah.
That's what we need to do.
That's what we need to do. And then we'll gradually
Save
work
the
out.
penny.
Yeah, and then we'll gradually work out of it instead of just doing all in one pot.
Instead of, you know, and saving $20,000 on interest. Right? All right, second.
All right, go ahead, second question.
We had talked about the startup money for REACH. Now, what I understood and what the consensus was with the budget committee, that we was wanting the schools to take this over.
Why didn't we mention that to her?
I think we was all shocked that she
If we were gonna do that, I mean, they're already said their budget.
Well,
I mean, you could've-
Yeah, I mean, they come up with a budget, but it's not set.
Yeah, but. Yeah, they're gonna.
So now, where do we go with
Scramble
that?
like we've had to do.
Where- So,
You know how that feels. But I agree. We should have said
we don't have no,
something.
we don't have no
We should have
business
said
being in
something
the
sooner, is
education.
all I'm saying. You know, we
Yeah,
should-
I understand.
Too late.
It's not too late.
That's not too late, but I just think we should have said something sooner.
I spoke with the REACH director. Their grants, are not just 1 year at a time. And there's one more year on this grant before it has to be all redone. Do you think, and I think that's right. Is that right, Mike?
I think so.
Okay. That's what she said. Would the best year to tell the school, be now, say, now, be ready next year, this grant's running out, it's your baby then. We nursed it along all this time. The end of the grant comes, then that's gonna be when it's up to the school to make the grant, get the grants or whatever.
All right.
They got a year to do it.
Is this gonna be the consensus with all that's sitting here right now?
Yeah.
I think so.
I'm
Yes.
for it.
I think because
James,
every
We
other.
don't need to be in the education business. We have a school system in the, that is.
That's
Well, I mean,
professional in
I'm
education.
asking questions. Is it consensus
Yes, I
of
think-
everybody here?
Yeah, you
James,
get one more year,
Yeah.
because on this
No, I-
last.
Is that
No,
your
I-
consensus?
REACH serves a valuable purpose in this county and always has. There was some mismanagement issues several years ago and created a super bad public relations issue with lots and lots of people. But it did a fantastic job for many, many years. I think it needs to continue, but it needs to be under the schools. And that's where that it should have been back in 1997 when it began, but schools would not take it then.
But since every other county that has one, the schools are doing it.
Yes.
I feel like that's a good argument, and that's the better way to do it.
And we're the only ones that.
We're the only ones.
Cannon County's the only ones that is not on the school system.
And you put, you know, and I agree, you give them notice now, next year, grant or no grant, it goes under schools, it's your decision to keep or to put an end to it, it's not the county commissioners putting an end to it.
That's right.
I mean, I think that's the one part, it needs to go to the schools.
And the
And if
people,
they don't wanna do it, then it's the school system that did away with it, not the county commissioners.
and the people that are benefited by it, their grandparents or their parents need to be talking to the school board member now,
Right.
showing them the benefit of this program,
Right.
and how it benefits their children after school.
Does that need to be some type of, with some letter, written document from
Something with teeth on it.
something with teeth on it? Send it-
Yeah, a resolution from the
A
county commission.
resolution,
that-
a resolution
yeah.
with numbers.
On next year's budget, we don't have, our grants were run out, and we're not gonna write anymore, and we're gonna,
Does that come from the county commission? Does
I
that come
think
from
it
the,
would.
or does it come from the budget committee?
Well,
The commission have to.
Be a recommendation from the budget committee and then goes to the commission, right?
Well, we could recommend it to them, and then they're the only one can act on it though.
Okay.
We recommend, but they can, only the whole 10-member commission can act.
Right.
Really? Well, I didn't know that.
Can we put that on?
I didn't know we could, I didn't think we had to do that. Do we have to really put it before the county commission? Can't we decide right now?
We can
I
just
believe
get,
we do know.
Yeah, it couldn't be a budget committee.
we can,
I think it's in the budget committee decisions.
Well, I know, but I think it would have more teeth. if we came-
I know, but I'm just saying though.
the school board
We
would,
we don't have, I mean, I don't think it has to be a part of
we
it.
can.
The only thing,
Okay.
anything you do here tonight has to be approved by the county
That's
commission.
right.
So if you say we don't want reach anymore, the school takes it, that's your decision as a committee, but it still has to go through the commission. See what I'm
10
saying?
people and the commission have to, Gail is first, though,
Why wouldn't you do that this year? It makes no sense.
because the grant has another year with it.
Yeah, but it says right here that you're paying $150,000.
We're not paying anything, it's totally funded by grants. It's, that's what the grants
We have to wait
are.
on our money sometimes.
We have to wait a few months till the money comes in, but it's all for grants.
We pay it up front. It's all
Well, then
written.
just do it this year and send it over there and get it done, get it off your plate now, so you take it care of. If it's a grant, why can't you transfer it over to the school this year?
Well, we feel like that they are not ready for it.
Would they not be able to be covered under that same grant, and it wouldn't cost them any money?
Yeah, but they're gonna get set up.
They gotta get set up like the way they wanna do it. Now,
And the
that's-
way the grant was written was 3 years, and it was written to the county to oversee it, so I can't
It's
say this.
not that big of a town to be able to finagle it and make it happen. You guys are in trouble here, and you need to make it happen.
Well, the trouble is not with that small thing, though, because it's just grant money. They worked hard to,
And
grant.
then if you.
You know, we talked
I know
about the
this is
insurance
mixed
of the
words.
cars, and that's been going on for 2 years. We've been
Look.
overpaying that, and then we're gonna have this, and, come on.
When, when you're talking about mixed words and, how contracts are written and everything, the contract was written for from the county, not the schools. The county.
And the county administers all the funds.
That's right.
Right.
It all goes through.
But it just passes through,
So,
it passes through. We
right
don't add
now-
any, we haven't been adding into it for the whole time.
Right now.
All we've been
the
doing-
grants are set up as far as the county run and everything. Now, that is verbatim as far as what the contract was signed. Now, after this year, the grant money, it will be going to the schools can apply for the grant money, then it will go under them, and then it's them. That administers the money.
Will you be ready to drop the program if the schools will not pick it up?
Yes.
Is that possibility?
Yes.
You're all right now ready to say
Yes.
we're done with it?
I am.
Yes.
It's not our
Now, Gail is
responsibility,
next
though.
though, and
Yes.
I'm sorry that I did not get to you
No,
next,
that's okay.
because you raised your hand. Go ahead, Gail.
That's okay, it's just really clarification, because I picked up some documents over there, and then we have the 2-page added detail here.
Mhm.
So I just want to make sure that I'm understanding all this, the numbers right. So I appreciate the added and what's been reduced and everything on this as a summary. These numbers here, are they all included in these documents here? So this is like the final budget?
We'll see down
All
there.
line items, I didn't go by line items, every account in the general fund is included in this. Every account.
They don't have
Not line
that.
items.
He's talking about.
I'm not gonna tell them where to put their money.
Okay.
Just gonna tell them how much
Now,
they're gonna afford to
Those
get.
documents,
Also-
what are they? Wait a minute, what are they?
What are you in?
Yes,
All
all
right, now,
these.
this right here, now that has changed since we come in here.
That's what I was
All right,
wondering.
the
So this is no
ambulance
longer active. This
Well,
is-
now, just like we were talking, solid waste, if
Yeah.
you'll look right there.
Yeah, on this,
All
yeah, got
right,
it.
we started with 553,107. Okay?
Mhm.
We dropped
Yeah.
it down to 510,674, which is a difference of $42,433, roughly 2 cents. Okay?
Okay, so
That's
these
what
are the
we've
before
dropped.
numbers, and then with Glenn's
This-
2-page deal, it gets dropped more.
Exactly.
Okay,
Now,
That's
go
right.
to your ambulance.
yeah,
All right, you got 1,008,769.
yeah.
All right, we're dropping it to 931,289, which is a difference of $77,480, roughly 3.5 cents.
Okay,
And what we're talking about after that, we're gonna take the 5.5 cents and put it in debt service to help if everybody agrees to it. Because, you know, where we can buffer.
It's not my number.
I know that.
I was wanting to understand, this
Yes,
is a
ma'am.
before, this is not an after
This-
document. This is a before.
This is, when we sit down here, that's what you've got in your hand. And then once we started talking,
It's all gonna be close.
those are the only two areas that we changed.
We know the payoff timeline, debt we owe the school. Have we ever got back from the state and told us how long we got to pay off?
I sent a letter requesting 10 years, they sent back a pay schedule. They haven't fully approved it, but I told her if we did, if they didn't get back with me, we were gonna plan on the 10 years, and if they said we couldn't do that, we'd have to correct it next year. So we think they'll approve it. To tell you for sure, I can't, but they did get back with the state wanting to know the pay schedule.
So where would we put that?
It would have to come out, I put it in debt service and just
School
count it
debt
as,
service?
no, county debt service and count it as a yearly payment of 100,000 plus a little for interest.
Now, also, if you'll look in there with the schools, we're gonna pay off the high school.
The education debt service,
Yes. We're gonna take that and we're gonna pay off the high schools this year.
that's good.
Be free and clear.
All right, now Glenn has made some proposals here.
I want to throw something else
Well,
out.
yeah, go right ahead.
Because I'd asked earlier if we'd ever got any numbers back from the community center on usage and so forth. And that one, every year I've sit on this committee and looked at it, you know, it's, $44,000 that the community center, that we're spending on the community center, 2 cents of tax rate. And it appears to be from, just ballpark numbers I hear, it's like 200 people end up going there and using the pool and using those services. And that just does not sound like we're getting the best bang for our buck for 2 cents of tax money. I know we can't do any, or it would not make sense, in my opinion, to do anything today, as far as closing it. But I mean, to me, at the end of Labor Day, when the pool shut down, I just don't see us keeping it open. That's the summer months with the pool, it's not utilized. Families want to go to McMinnville, Tullahoma, Murfreesboro to these nice pools with all the slides and the bells and whistles. And I know we're getting some aerobics, it gets some good, some good use, but for what it's costing all taxpayers, doesn't make sense to me.
But that's not a total cost. Now, we rent part of the building for $750 a month to Mid-Cumberland, which provides a service for.
That's where Head Start is.
Head Start is, so that's what, $80-something, $9,000 a year right at. And then you've got an income on the pool, where our numbers are pretty good on the pole this year, but, I mean, I don't think they charge a lot, but then you got a low income there, so, you know, 40-something thousand is not all.
I know what you're saying, not a net, yeah, it's
Yeah,
not
it's
a net
not a net
expense.
loss.
Yeah, or a net expense, or total expense
And-
with it, but it just, you know, it's just not you.
I called for some numbers on that the other day, Gary. I got back and I had June numbers, and like they were averaging 66 a day, which is not that bad. And of course, they had night aerobics
Okay.
for the senior citizen center, and they also give swim
Lessons.
swimming lessons.
Okay.
So, and not everybody can pick up and go to McMinnville and go to, especially.
Well, no, I know they can, I'm just looking
I
for
mean,
the
there's a
amount of,
certain segment of our county that just can't afford to do that.
I think we're looking for, is it really of value
I guess
to
that's-
our
Yeah,
citizens?
right.
yeah.
And if it isn't, how much of a value?
But I
Let's know
still,
before.
I agree with you that we do need more use out of that. Like I think swimming lessons were only a week this time. Well, that needs to be extended. You know, that really needs to be extended. Because a week's time is just not enough.
Chairman?
Yes,
I'd
ma'am.
like to know, what was the history of the building? I think it was it a federal
federal grant.
grant? And did it carry any?
Head Start is still in it, and that's where it started in. Head Start started in it, and
Do we have any obligations that carried
the
over?
junior pro uses the basketball court.
Different
And
things. They have
in the
basketball.
winter time, in the winter months when you're not, the
Yeah.
young people are not using swimming pool, and some of the junior pro teams will be scheduled practices there instead of one of the schools, you know.
But the building is the county's to do with as they please at this point?
No, it's got to be used as a community center.
Okay. And that's where it
Recreation
hasn't
center.
had
Recreation.
much thrust, I don't think.
Yeah,
You know?
I agree. That's what I'm saying. We need to broaden our scope.
It's doing necessary things. What would our little kids in this little community do without Head Start?
Yeah.
There's, there are a lot of very fortunate families that could do more, but, I just was curious what we were obligated to do with it.
Cannon County's Head Start has been successful in the United States.
well, that, we're mandated to
That's
continue
right,
that.
that's right.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other,
And I'd like to invite anybody that has never been to the REACH program, like, who was it? Somebody said, well, what a good you did, James. Go over there and see what they do. Most of them are low-income kids that maybe they give them a snack, they help them with
Well, they help them with their homework.
help them with their homework, and
Yeah.
that's the big thing. And I forget how many they claim that have graduate from high school. One year I heard them say that wouldn't have graduated. So REACH is a good program with a bad reputation, but it's being run really good now. And it's not costing us anything, other than electric bill, water bill.
all right, Jim? You and Brent, can we figure out what rate we're gonna put these, if we take Glenn's proposal? We need, I think we need to go on one at a time, and do I have any more questions? Gail, did you, let me go back to you.
Nope, I did.
Okay. Yes.
It says 0 on the tobacco grant. How come we didn't get money? All the counties around us got money. Warren County got lots and lots of money. How come we didn't have a grant
That may
writer?
be a
What-
different
what
tobacco
fell through
grant.
there? Huh?
That may be a different tobacco
The
grant. What made you
tobacco
look-
grant you're looking at is the health department. They get so much for tobacco education. That's what that is.
I know, but I work in Warren County, so we were at the health council there, and they got a huge amount from the government. I don't know why we didn't get anything. Do we not have a grant writer at the
Yeah.
health department? Is that why we fell through, or do you know what happened there where we didn't get anything?
We get grants.
Language says nothing, and then
And
the estimated was like 19,000, so I don't,
And
I'm
you're,
just trying to ask, whose responsibility is it to write grants? What
we
happened
got a
with the
building
grant
at the
writer?
high school that was.
Where do
paid
you
up.
see a zero at? What page is, what page, what's the top of the page?
2014, 2015, C11.
No, at the very top of your page, what you know?
11.
D11.
See, I go to 20.
Is that the correction, or 20 instead of that page there?
Would it be 55,190?
See, that is a pass, that's the way the pass-through grant, you see page 20 now?
Yes, sir.
You see the local health tobacco education grant right there, $12,260. You see that? You see it, Thea?
Yeah. That's something we have.
That's where it's spent. Over here on page 11 is still under revenue, see, and that's where it comes in. Now, I don't know why that the tobacco grant, let's see what numbers we're at. It may have been in another line item that year, combined with another in 14, 15. But we're just talking about 15, 16, and 16, 17 right now. Okay, let's see. Okay, any other questions? All right,
We're looking-
Jim?
We're looking at general fund at 141.
Yes.
All right, we started with ambulance at 18 cents, we're dropping it 3.5 cents.
Now, you can do two things right there. You can either drop it two, like he said. Now, let's talk about it, though. Let's talk about Amazon. I understand why the director requested a raise, but in these times, I think they've got a brand new building. They've got good equipment. But a raise, I don't mind him asking for it, but I want y'all to tell me what you think about funding that first, and then but we can leave it into their fund balance instead of cutting them too much.
Yeah.
What do you think? Last week, what did you say about the raises last week, Jim?
No,
Okay. What do you say about them, Brent?
I mean, we either give everybody a raise or
Or don't.
don't.
Okay. Ricky?
They do a great job. Ricky does a great job. Ricky said he could take it out.
He said take 2 cents out, but leave my raises in. That's what that was his offer now. But I don't know that we can get past a budget that leaves their raises in there.
Well, it's gonna cause some animosity if we do.
Okay.
If we keep them in, we're gonna have a little animosity.
That's what I said.
That's what he's saying.
Okay.
That's
We'll
what I
extend
said.
the animosity.
We'll extend that much. What do you think, Glenn? Pull the raises out?
Those folks do a great job over there. Director Cope does a great job. They have a top-notch, almost world-class facility over there. They have new furniture, they have new equipment, and they have one of the best-looking fleets of ambulances I see on the road. I would ask, because a lot of what they have over there come from the pot that we're gonna have to fill back up, debt service. So, could you just enjoy this until we get completely out of the ditch on this, and then we want to help everybody? I'd like to see it be consistent about the raises.
There'll be time for raises. That's what you're saying.
Well, sure. I mean, the time is right now, and I don't blame Director Cope for putting it in there. I would too. I've gone to my bosses before and said, look, forget about my raise, give it to my people. That didn't happen either.
My concern is what's gonna happen, are we gonna lose the paramedics to other jobs, whether it's another county paramedic or doing whatever, and then the cost to replace them, is that gonna cost us more than what the raises would have been? And I know no one can answer that, but that's just
That's,
well, I mean, it's the same thing with the sheriff's department, I mean, tick for tat, I mean.
well, but we made that bump up 2 years ago at the sheriff's department.
Can I say something?
yes, sir.
I lost 17 personnel this last budget year. 9 of them were officers, certified officers. I lost 6 corrections. I lost 2 cooks.
That's why we're wanting to get this.
You know what I told you.
I understand.
I'm
And we
not-
gave y'all, we would like to get it so that it's not a.
I'm
ambulance
first
gets this.
responder.
Yeah.
I'm first responder. We should have had insurance years ago with that sheriff's department before I ever got here. They have to deal with a lot of stuff that EMS deals with too.
That's true.
but I have to house them after EMS turns them loose.
And the-
I've gotta put my whole staff in that predicament. That's the reason we wanted insurance, that's the reason we need insurance.
And I understand that. And now y'all have got insurance as well as the ambulance service, and that's good. But the question before us right now is whether we can afford to leave Ricky's 3% increase for the paramedics and those in there.
We don't have, we 100% sure though that we went through the entirety and everybody, every department, since it's kind of decentralized, they put in raises.
There's not any that
I
I'm
didn't see it.
None
I
outside.
didn't see it.
Other than
that. I know it kind of slipped by us, right? I might have saw a number in there in the reach directory too, might have a little raise too. But again, I mean, that's the whole problem with decentralized.
I don't know of it if there is. It's not supposed to be. I'll check and see.
I don't think there is.
You know, I don't want to be pole walking over a mouse.
Let's just make that.
But one thing you said that wasn't exactly right, you're putting 20 cents, I think, on Jimmy.
Yeah, and
So not
it's
18.
currently getting.
Has been, yeah, has been getting.
Our review, the review is 141, general fund, ambulance service 20, solid waste 16, schools 88, debt service 3. That's the current.
And we can take the raises out of the ambulance service and still leave it at so many cents to build his fund balance, because that's where your financial stability comes from, is having a fund balance.
I say with ambulance service, we cut them to 18 and we cut the raises.
Okay.
That's my, push me 3.5 cents. Right.
All right, I'm gonna go down the line here.
How much is the?
Brent?
I'm right now at 18 cents for ambulance service, but Jim's sitting here trying to figure out what the raise is. And that's what the.
Well, Diane told us last week it's about $30,000.
Okay.
Right. And
So
that's when we dropped it down to 18.
No, we dropped it down on Ricky's request.
So we could go with 17.
That would give them a little, that'd give them a half a cent, they'd give them a half a cent in there.
I'd go 16
Unless you wanna go 16.
I don't like cutting them in half.
16 and a half.
Go 18.
You're gonna cut all the fund balance if you're not
Yeah,
careful.
we can't cut all our fund balance. The comptroller wants us to build fund balance.
You're starting out with 20.
Right.
So from what I understand with you, you're starting out with 20, you drop to 3.5, that's 16 and a half. Right?
Well, you said the,
I know I went to
you said
County High School, but I mean,
you said the 30K was the raise, right?
Yes.
That's a penny and a half, cent and a half.
but, you know, I'm going to blend. I'm going to blend numbers. On ambulance, start at 1,008,769, then we drop it down to 931,289, which leaves us at
77,480, which is 3.5 cents.
Well, what I'm saying is, let your bottom line be 931, but whatever you funded at, be above that, just like it was last year, so they will have a fund balance. Don't try to send a budget in that doesn't have a fund balance for next year and doesn't build it a little
They're
bit.
still gonna have a fund balance.
Well, they did this year, yes.
They'll be digging in.
They're still gonna have a fund
No,
balance.
yeah. We don't want to penalize them.
Well, I mean, we're not penalizing them. They're still gonna
What
have
do
a
you,
fund balance.
what do you think will fund balance service?
He told you.
No, he didn't. He didn't tell me in cents.
That's, I'm not telling you in cents, I'm looking at raw dollars.
That's right.
Raw dollars in there. And like I said, on the ambulance service and solid waste, we're discussing, do what we feel like.
Dollars, but totally fact.
All right, 141 for county general. What do y'all want to do for, do I have a motion for the ambulance service?
We should have done this last year, by the way.
No.
It would have to have this problem now.
Drop it 3.5 cents.
We didn't.
Drop it 2.75%.
Y'all said 20.
Right.
So it's 16 and a half.
16 and a half. All right, I can live with that. 16.5.
You make a motion for 16.5,
I
Brent.
do.
Does anybody make another motion? You got one? Rich, you got one?
Is that?
What are you saying, Glenn?
Well, Yeah.
We gotta put a property
What,
on
what,
committee.
what does the number say on that?
I say go 17.
3.5.
Or 18.
Well, we were
And
already.
we
at
still got a
18.
fund down.
I say take the 2 cents out and take the raises, that's what I say.
Yeah.
That gets
That's
down from
16.
20 down to
That's
18 is what I thought would be.
That's
18.
That's
16.5. That's 16.5.
16.5.
Yeah. But leave, I say leave, take the raises out, but leave the fund balance to build.
You know,
Let's compromise, do 17 then, okay?
If you'll look at what Diane sent you today, I think this has got 20 cents in it, like we had for 3 or 4 years. And with the raises of about, what you said.
No, it's got 18.
It's got 18, today's 18.
The one she gave us today's got 18.
there you go.
You're overspending 28, and then the raises are out.
No, the raises are in.
No, the raises are still in.
Okay.
And we're 28
At
to rate.
18 cents, if you cut the raises, you're just breaking even. You're not
That's
building a
what I
dime to your fund balance, or you're not taking any out. Well, you'll take,
So that's 16.5. What you just said, that's 16.5.
If you have 18 on here and you take out the raises, that's a cent, another cent and a half.
if the raises are in here, and y'all said they were.
They are, and
They are.
I know that, because I
Yeah, look
instructed
at
Diane.
Raises
Mine
are on this
31.
sheet right here.
The raises are on this sheet right here, because that's what I instructed her to give us to look at.
Yeah.
And then we were determining this, I told Diane, after our meeting the other night, I said, you put the raises in there, and then we will decide whether they stay in there or not. And I think that was fair to,
That's what you said.
that's fair to everybody on here. We all, you know.
So we're at 16.5.
That seems like that's penalizing them.
Yeah, it does, all right, make a proposal.
Well, I tell you what, I mean, what are you gonna do? We ain't got no money. I know it sounds bad, what
I
we're
got-
doing, you know what I'm saying? But we ain't got no money. So what do? You go broke or you give them raises?
We're not gonna give them a raise, we've already decided that, I've already
Well,
gone down the
that's what
list.
I'm saying. Where do you wanna stop?
We're not, we'd already stopped, Jim.
Well,
I've
you-
already
you-
said, we're
you-
gonna stop, not gonna.
You
give-
come up around here and say, well, you know, we got 16.5. Anybody got a counter proposal? I mean, we don't have no money. We have got to do the best with
So what's
what
the-
we've got.
What's the counter proposal? Do we have money proposed? Anybody else?
James, you got one? Well, all right, raise your hands here for 16.5. All right, it fails 2 to 1, 2, 3, 4. Give us a counter proposal now, somebody.
Why are you against it? Why are you
16.5,
against it?
because their fund balance has to be enough that next year we can start off then without borrowing money. That's exactly why, I'm for taking the raises out. We're all for taking the raises out, but we're not for deleting the fund balance that much.
Isn't that what the county does every year? You borrow money to get started?
We'd like to quit
Just like
doing
the
that.
farmers.
We'd
That's
like to
because
quit
the
doing
fund
that.
balance was all deleted a few years ago.
That's what we'd like to quit doing.
That's what we're trying to get to do.
Pass.
So what's the counter?
I'd say the counters, I don't know, 17 or 18. It's not 20.
So you're back at square one?
17. You make a motion for 17, Glenn?
I make a motion for 17.
Okay.
I'll second that.
All right, got a motion and a second for 17. All in favor of 17, raise your hand. Okay. Let's do county general at 17, but take the budget, Mike, you're taking,
Not county.
I mean, Amherst, excuse me.
17.
Amherst is 17 now, 1-7.
That's a compromise.
That's a compromise, and it's a good
20
compromise.
down to 17.
We're 20 down 17, we took 3 cents off of it, Jim. And you were just a half a cent off, so that's pretty good.
Now you started out at 18.
And went down to
How do you
17.
fit? How do you?
We started at 20.
We started at 20.
20 down to,
No, the budget down here figured it at 18. What you're looking at.
We peeled another penny off of it and peeled all the raises out of it. You got that, Mike?
Solid waste.
Okay.
141 general fund, national service 17.
17.
Solid waste.
This has no raises in it. This has no raises.
All right, solid. Has anybody got a proposal for solid waste?
Take 2 cents off what we agreed to do last time. That'll go down to 14.
Remember one thing, we're running on a penny less than we were in 05 and 06.
Well,
That was 05 and
Now,
06
I'll
numbers.
make it work, huh?
That was 05 and 06 numbers.
But the point is, everything's went up since then. I'll run it on 14, but I want everybody to know there'll be a lot of services drastically cut, I think, because we went over this time at 16 cents. We were at 18 cents 4 or 5 years ago. Y'all already cut it 4 cents. But if you wanna cut it, I'll do the best I can.
But in expenses, on this budget that we, had versus Glenn, I mean, that's $43,000 difference, Mike.
What's 43?
All right. Forget about the funding part of it, just from expenses. The budget that Diane gave us, that you hand out, it's $553,000. Glenn's budget is $510,000 on expenses.
2,433.
So,
Well, yeah, I know that. but
Okay,
That's
so-
2 cents.
That's 2 cents.
But my point is, we'll have to cut something.
I know, that's what I'm saying, what do you,
I work 3 people 10 hours a day, we're over 67 hours a week, so I don't know what, but we'll have to do some drastic.
if you do that,
Because-
you have to shut something down
We
to
work,
make it work.
we went over, we'll have to shut
Right,
something down, no
okay.
choice. I mean, I can't control the amount of garbage.
And everybody needs to
That's something.
understand that.
Or
Oh,
operate
I-
more efficiently.
Well, I don't know how. I don't know what you would do more efficiently. We got it, but, I'll shut down something, I'll make it work.
Yeah.
Shut it down.
Well,
around
I've got this question, Jim.
We have one more day a week, Mike.
We've got,
Yeah, one more day a week.
we've gone this long, leaving
you
solid
still
waste
get the
alone
same
at 16. Have you got any problem with just leaving it at 16, but, altering the numbers on the spending sum?
No.
You don't have a problem with that?
No, I've got a problem with it.
Are you gonna have problems with budgets that are 3 times big as that one?
Well, thing about it is, here I am, I'm talking about the ambulance, well, nobody don't like,
Well, they took a 3 cent cut, now you're talking 2 here
No,
now.
wait a minute, we started out at 18 cents.
No, you started at 20, it was 20 from last year, so they've been cut 3 cents. Now you're talking 2 cents from a budget that gets 16.
Didn't you say when Diane figured that up, that was 18 cents?
Yeah, because,
What we were looking at.
but you only cut it 3. The budget's 20 cents as we said today. That was
Raises
just,
were in there. The raises were in the numbers, though.
In the what, the ambulance? And we've already finished the ambulance, they're
Yeah,
cutting.
they're talking about it.
Okay, so, $42,000, that's nothing to figure out, do something, $42,000.
y'all say do it, I'll do it.
Get your solid waste paper out right there and see what you got on our spending side.
I spent quite a bit of time with Ms. Claire. We've been educating ourselves pretty much and say, I know we can cut some operating costs out of solid waste. I know we can. I've already given county executive again options on doing that. And I can understand his position on there. I understand. But we've got to take some money out of solid waste. I don't think we need to take 2 cents.
If y'all take 2, I'll make it work.
I don't think.
Somewhat.
I personally, I don't think we need to take 2 cents.
I don't either, because the people that use it will
But I
be.
gave y'all a report 6 or 8 months ago or whatever, and it all factors out per citizen in County. We pay less than anybody in Upper Cumberland. And I just don't know why you keep going back to the same budgets where there's only 320,000 going in there at 16 cents. I just don't understand why we don't look at everybody's budget.
And I'd like to say this, and I think it's time to say it. Last year, when we cut spending across the board in general fund, I don't know of anybody that thought that they could do it. But did they do it? Did they do it?
They did.
They found a way to do it. And that's what we all have to do, is find a way to do more with less. It's not just right here in the county government, it's all over the nation. Do more with less. And that's what we need to do in every department. We've had good results in the general fund. We did better than anybody even thought of. We need to continue that. We need to move that carrot out just a little bit and let's do our very best in order to save these taxpayers' monies, well, we can do some more things for them. And I understand, believe me, I understand. I used to fight the same fights you're fighting right now, I understand. But I had to find a way to do it.
Cut it 2 cents and I'll make the necessary.
I don't want to.
I mean, but the people,
I say
the
1 cent.
ones.
1 cent, all right, you make that motion, go from 16 to 15.
Yeah, that's my motion.
All right, do I hear a second?
Do y'all have a problem if it come down to it that
I think, you know, you got a solution by getting rid of the cardboard situation. That would be a big savings.
sell your trailers, stop picking up your cardboard, anybody that tries to bring
That is
cardboard,
I-
anybody that tries to bring cardboard to the dump, you instruct them to drop it at the building, you don't put it in the dumpster, period.
We've
Sell
got-
the trailers, sell the truck, and you're done with cardboard, you're gonna save half of the 42,000 that you're talking about.
That is an option, but he was elected to do that option, we got two people sitting
Shut
here.
her
all-
down to 5 days,
We got
and we'll
two
comply.
people sitting here. Thea, do you want to say something? She's on the solid waste board.
I have way too much to say and I'm not prepared to.
Okay.
There,
Ms. Prince here has been on the solid waste board of how many counties?
4 counties.
4
21
counties.
years.
For how many years?
21,
21 years.
since the inception of the act.
She has a lot of experience. Somebody on this commission sits on it all the time with her.
It was the Cliff Note version.
I think there's a lot that can be done, but it takes Glenn and I and others working with the county executive to be knowledgeable about all the things that are in place. Management over there was management over there 10 years ago when I moved here. It was still a rough situation, but there was management. Maybe there's more cooperation in different areas to get help when we needed help to do things. And I think the judge is starting now to issue some things for some temporary relief and we have free labor coming in. It just, there's a lot that can be done, but it takes a lot of work.
Paul,
And
I went myself and looked at Parsley's, I looked at Piggly Wiggly, I looked at some, you are right that savings can be done on the cardboard because they're just flipping it in there and they're not putting it down. And it's saving, and I've instructed the county executive that I think that he needs to start there for his savings. Now, how much, what you do is up to him, but I think that we can make some savings in the cardboard. And since we sell the cardboard, it does make some money, and if we save the money that it takes to bring it in, then that makes the part that is going to the black even what? Even bigger.
Depends on what you look at. There's a little store right down here that apparently, talking to the owner of that store, you guys make him sign a contract that he has to give you his cardboard and he has to bring it in himself. Why does he have to do that?
That's
Why
a
are
good
my
point.
two businesses- why are my two
There
businesses-
is no contract signed with nobody.
Well, then he's a ball-faced liar.
Well, I don't, you've misunderstood. I'm not saying anybody's a liar. No one has signed a contract.
But those decisions are up to the county executive. And I've told him that we need to be more efficient with the cardboard because I saw it loosely piled in there, and I know that a truck comes there and gets it, and a trailer has to take it back. And we need to be more, because the cardboard is a benefit to us, and the more we, the more we help it to have less expense in it, the greater the benefit it is.
We're not gonna sell this tonight.
We're not gonna sell this tonight because it's not.
Right.
That's,
And
I've
you're
got a
right.
motion on the floor.
One more thing, and I'm done. What about the trucking contract? There's a lot of sketchy business around the trucking contract, whether it's even legal or not. And is it bid out every year?
It was not bid out every
No,
year.
Why is it not bid out?
Why is it, why would there be any question about being legal? I bet if the county attorney handled it.
Okay.
And how many year contract?
3 years with
Who is the contract with?
It's with Pemberton Trucking.
and then the original.
If y'all want me to bid it out again, I will, but you better add to the 2 cents back, because last time we had one bid and it went up $50 a load. I'll be happy if Pemberton will agree to do it, I'll bid it again.
When we're talking about solid waste, I want to say one thing about they have brought up cooperation. And while we got the sheriff here, I'd like to ask him if he could help us with inmate labor over there again. It has been done in the past. Why can't it be done now?
Because I don't have control of it. If you got me a man that can stay up there with them, I'll put him up there.
Do you not have that man?
No.
I think you do.
Who?
Well, I don't know that, but I think you could have one man.
I don't have enough people to operate what I've got. I can't put one at the dump.
When the
State
ones
says
that
I'm
collected on the roads,
understaffed
could that crew help with the solid waste at all? You know,
What now?
our deal with the T-Dot,
Litter.
our litter deal
I
with
don't have
T-Dot.
a man to work at every day.
I know not every day, I'm saying occasionally, I'm just asking, I'm just floating balloons.
Talking about the truck there.
I guess,
The who?
Yeah.
Picking it up on the state roads, our deal with T-Dot.
At the
Yeah.
dumps.
Could they help that? Could they, as well as do that, could those same ones that can be trusted to be out on the road, go over there and help a little bit at the other dump?
We set up a time frame for off-duty corrections officer.
Okay,
And Ed Brown, my jail administrator, and my maintenance man, we got a week designated to pick this stuff up. So we clear everything out unless something bad happens and my maintenance has to come back to the shop. He's constantly picking up trash that everybody else has picked up. I don't have a man that designate to go up there. I really don't. I'd have to redo the whole schedule. And until I've got somebody that's certified to stay up there at that dump, inmates are not going back. I can't take the,
I understand that because that's a
Well, I
security
do.
risk.
it is bad.
And we don't want a security risk, but it was done in the past, and I just wondered if it could be done sometime in the future to help us, you know, with these budget problems, because inmate labor is something that some people use.
If I had the personnel, be tickled to death.
Okay. That's good. Maybe in the
And
future we
things
can
can
get.
start in little bits. We don't have to have somebody up there from nothing to every day of the week. We can have scheduled.
Just like we schedule
Yeah,
the road.
just-
If your judges
The judge can
will send these community service people up there, you get all the free labor in the world, I don't have to worry about it. They ain't coming back to that jail, so I don't have to worry about drugs or anything else.
Okay. That's a good point. That's a real good point. We need to talk to the judges and ask them if some of the community service of these people that are out on parole could be used up there at the convenience center.
Like everything else in life, it's communication. When do these partners in this obligation and this task, when do they sit down and communicate and work out something concrete?
That's right. All right, continuing on, we got 85 for the schools, 141 for county general, 17 for the ambulance. Now, do I have a motion for solid waste? What did you say, Glenn?
I think not 2 cents out, one cent.
You say 15 then?
Work on that, yeah.
Can you live with 15, Jim?
don't make no difference what I say.
Well, it does too. You got to vote.
When it comes to the budget, if we have, a negative fund balance, do we have issues with the state on this, on solid waste?
I think that's why Glenn don't want to go down 2. He wants to go down just 1.
Well, we'll still have a negative fund
Yes,
balance.
we will, but the county executive, he said he would figure it out, and he'll cut somewhere. He'll have to lay off somebody.
Well, no, I'm just saying if
Will
he
they approve the
operates,
budget?
if he operates at 510, 674, and we cut a penny out, that's 517, that's $7,000, profit or, on the plus on fund balance, but we're sitting right now at almost $10,000 negative fund balance. So that's
They
what
will
my
not-
question is.
They will not approve any budget with deficit spending unless you got a fund balance to cover.
Well, when are we going to cut the operating costs then, if we can't have a fund balance?
That's a good question. I'd like to ask the comptroller myself. All right, have I got a motion for the solid waste?
But they're not going to accept it. If you cut it a penny, they're not
Well,
going
we
to
will,
accept it.
We'll have to change it.
they'll
somewhere.
change something on it.
If we don't cut it at all, we're still gonna. So
No, you'll have it with the 2 cents.
16.
You'll have it with the 16. You just won't have it with the 15. Working off a 510 expense.
And we can work off 510 expense and still leave it at 16.
That's what I'm saying, at the 510 expense with it still being funded at 16, then you'll have a positive ending
about
fund
that,
balance.
Jim?
I'll tell you what, you know, you're talking about that 16 cents.
That is,
I'd be willing to go along with that, if we go back up to ambulance service and cut it again.
I think we're done with that. We
No,
have
we're not.
forward. Yes, we are.
Like I said,
It
it
was-
don't make no difference what I say.
That's not right.
You go right ahead.
Well, you.
Well,
you
I
made-
mean, you know, look
You
here.
made the first
It-
motion, and it didn't
And I,
pass.
well, woo. You know, I hate for somebody to run my household. I know how much money I got to pay my bills at my home. I know what I've got to do. If I don't have the money, either I do without, or I lose my house.
Well,
Now, it's the same way with this. If you haven't got the money, we got to do the best thing we can do with what we've got. Now, if we can't do that, then we can sit here and talk about this all night and beat the brains
Solid
out.
has had 16 in it
Well, that's
last
fine.
year.
If
It
you
had
want
last year.
16, that's fine. Then we'll go up here and let's talk about airplanes.
We've already talked about ambulance. Glenn, you got a motion, Glenn? You got a motion, Richie?
I've got one quick question.
Okay.
Close the thing down to 5 days a week. That was suggested. The only thing against that I heard is that there's going to be long lines and angry people. What are y'all afraid of?
Where will that save money?
Cut your hours back.
That still won't save money. If I cut a
Cut your
person,
salary?
no. I've got them rotated to keep it open that long. They're not working.
But that's 6 to 7 hours a week.
But my point is, you're going to
You
have
stagger
the
them,
same
boy.
Cut them
amount.
down. Cut them down to 40 hours. a week.
80, they're only working 40 a week.
That's all they're
3 of
working.
them's working for
Three of them.
If I cut a guy, and
Well, then we lose the cardboard.
if you lose cardboard, we sell 9,000.
I'm not going over those numbers
All right,
again.
Okay, have you, John, have you ever sold cardboard?
Paul.
Yes, I have.
Paul,
For
have-
years.
Have you ever run a solid waste department?
No, I have not.
Okay.
I run 2 businesses.
But it doesn't deal with
They
solid
both make
waste.
money.
If you
This is not the time or the place for this.
But it's-
According to these committee members, and I don't want
Take care
to
of
be,
business. We need to take care of
we need to
business.
take care of our business.
Cut it to
Do I have a motion for
Okay.
solid waste?
16 cents.
16 is motion over here. Do I hear a second to that? I'll second 16. All in favor of 16, let me know. Raise my hand.
Why 16?
Because,
So we'll have a positive ending fund balance. Still working on the 510 expenses.
Yeah.
We're working on now, the operating expense is that what we're?
The expense is 510, 674 is what Glenda proposed, and I'm okay with that. But for us to have a positive fund balance, we've got to keep 16 cents in there.
Could I ask one question?
yes, one.
You added to this, you appropriated more money to go into solid waste a couple of weeks ago. Didn't you?
No.
I don't think so.
Okay.
It was 16 last
It's
year.
something that may have been
I think he
along.
means you had to put some money in there, the cost went over. So I
Right,
think-
call, you had to call.
Went over budget.
Yeah.
So you was over budget, so you was under budget, so you were saying you can't be under budget, ain't it correct? Is that
You
correct?
can't send them a budget that proposes to be under budget.
Well, you can sit here all night and make a budget be in line.
That's,
There's no reason to have these meetings if you're gonna
we
make a
don't
budget.
intend to though. We don't intend to. We're not gonna do that deliberately. Unforeseen things may come up. And I think your question's been answered. Do I have, where was I at? You said 16, I seconded it. All in favor of 16, raise your hand. All right, do we have a second proposal? Richie, Glenn?
Well, I was gonna say 15, but,
Okay, say it.
well, you know, if it's not gonna be,
I'll vote for 15.
okay, I'll make a motion for 15.
Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Oh, you seconded, okay. Mike, you got that down?
I made it,
Richie
yeah.
made it and Glenn seconded it. All in favor of 15, cutting a penny out of solid waste, raise your hand. Brent, you for that, 15?
Yeah, I'll go.
Okay, that's, Jim, you gonna go on with 15?
No.
All right, it passes 5-1. Go 15. Now, debt services, let's go to them.
What was, I'm sorry, what was school?
85.
It was 88.
88?
We cut schools by 3 cents.
So it's 85.
That's 85.
That's all we could cut.
I guess we've all voted on that, right? Have we voted on that for the record?
Well, let's vote on that for the record. Good point there. You gonna make that motion, Brent?
No, I'm not gonna make that motion.
You're not gonna make an 85 motion?
I'm gonna make sure, you still with us?
You make an 85 motion? Jim, you make a motion for
I'll make
85?
it 85,
85.
because that's as low as we could go.
Okay, do I hear a second? Brent, you second that?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, Brent seconded. All in favor of 85 for the schools, raise your hand.
We couldn't cut it in more than 3 cents.
Opposed, 85. Okay. 85 passes for the schools. 141, did we vote on 141? Jim, you gonna make a motion for 141?
Jim,
I'll go along with that one.
You
Okay.
suggested that one.
Yeah.
Okay,
All the
you
rest
making
of
that
it kinda
motion?
went downhill.
Okay, you making that motion, Jim?
Yeah.
All right, who's second 141?
I'll say.
All right, everybody for 141, raise your hand.
Uh,
All right, it passes unanimously, I think. Brent, did I see your hand?
Yeah.
Okay, 141, 17, 15, now let's go to the debt services. The education debt service first. It's got $625,000 of wheel tax coming into it. $250,000 from the school board coming into it. And you see the bottom line on that. Is everybody all right with the way it's funded? We can't change it. It's the one with the purple highlights. There it is, right there. We're just going over it to look at it. Now, what's gonna happen,
What I wanna know, you're supposed to pay it off. Is that,
the school board will quit putting $250,000 in it. And the wheel tax that we have now going in it will either have to be renewed for some other purpose to go into education debt service or something else. But it's not getting any property tax, but that's neither here nor there. It's got other funding sources. Jim, you all right with the education debt service funding?
Well, we come to agreement that we're gonna pay the high school loan?
It's in there. It's in there.
Well, I mean, I'm asking these gentlemen right here.
If you approve what she sent you, it's in there.
Anybody got a problem with that?
I think we're making moves to it, huh?
Do you think?
Well, this for me to review the bid in here, 141, 17, 15, 85 is 258. Current property tax rate is 268, so we got it down. And I didn't count the debt service currently, so we split the debt service into 2 accounts. Debt service gets 3 cents, educational debt service we're trying to debate right now.
It's
not getting any.
It's not getting property tax, it's getting $625,000 from people out of Canton County.
No,
That's a lot.
we're not talking about that part, we're talking about the million we owe.
It's not in debt service, though. Education debt service, it's on the other one.
That's what we're talking, that's what he was talking.
Well, I'm trying to figure out where this, but yeah, that's 2 points.
I mean, in other words, he split it up, all right, we got 3 cents of debt service, regular debt service. All right, what's it gonna take to keep us up to par for that $1 million that we owe to go back into school debt service?
That's what we're cutting these others for. That's what we're cutting these others for, to put in that. Let's go to general debt service, since y'all want to talk about it.
All right, you got it at 3 cents, right?
No, she's proposed, we got the figures in front of her, of 8 cents.
8 cents.
All right.
That was 2 out of ambulance and 3 out of school, so.
8 cents and, okay.
Now tonight, we've cut more, see.
How much did we cut? 2 cents?
No.
No, 3
We cut 5.
3.
I want this one.
Right, we got a dime. So we still got 2 cents out there that we haven't counted.
If you look on your back page, 15-16's got a fund balance 250,000. Your revenues at
That's right. Plus 13.
8 cents will be, and everything else will be, total revenues will be 219,457. Your payments, if you fund everything that's been asked, you only got 2 payments. One of them's 116, one of them's 113. So about $230-something thousand. Now, if you add all these others, based on a 3-year note, your payment will be $400,000. If you fund everything that was asked for. So that's what we gotta know, what you wanna fund that was asked for.
All right, let's go down the list of things we were asked to fund.
Now, we'll have to add 100,000 payment to that, to pay back to the debt service schools. Right, but that'll be a 10-year, what I'm planning on. Now, we may keep it total.
We got 500 and plus or minus, was it 500 in new debt? I know it's over $500,000 in new debt. I'd say it, and that's.
Put it 410,000?
No, is it right here? Okay. I thought Diane said it was 400 or $513,000.
No, 410,000 in new debt.
Right, something.
Okay, 410,000. So 5. I'm just make sure I'm getting 5 police cars.
That's
Three.
over.
Well, let's go down
That's
to
right,
that.
that's over 5.
That's right.
504 or something.
There you go. All right, so then you got 5 police cars, let's review the bid, 3 fire trucks, 1 ambulance or rescue squad bid, and then $60K in improvements on the building. Is that it? Is that the new debt? Right, am I missing?
You're right.
All right, let's look at the biggest.
What is that? Was
Let's
that 500 and, what's that final number? When I asked Diane to figure the
514.
514, 514,000. So this is on my So that's new debt, and then we got $1 million in real schools, hopefully over a 10-year period.
That's why
And we got a dime.
30.
Okay.
All right,
Just 200,000.
Yeah.
y'all got a motion? Let's look at all of our things that we planned.
We got a dime left over. We're right now not including any money in debt service, not including anything in educational debt service. We're at 258. Now, if we go with Diane's recommendation of putting 8 cents in debt service, and that covers everything. Does that cover all the payments?
Yes, it does, because they're 3-year notes. Do we need to spend $150,000 this year
But we're short,
on police cars?
but we're still short a nickel for the $1 million payout.
Well,
3 cents.
basically 3 cents.
3 cents, basically 3
3
cents. Yeah, 3 cents.
8 cents to do this and 3 cents to do the wheel tax payback.
Yeah. Well, plus the 2 cents is left over too.
3.5 cents to the
See,
payback.
you got 10 left over before.
Well, no, I'm not trying to I don't want to get hung up on that. That's going in
If you
crazy
fund
math.
everything that's been asked for, you gotta add 100 to that, so that's 500,000. So that would be 25 cents. What'd you cut, you put in 3, what'd you cut to 9? Total everything.
Total was 10.
11.5 cents does it based on everything presented, right?
Based on everything presented.
Okay,
Right.
so,
So we need to step
well, I mean, Mark keeps asking, or, you started out discussion, and he's asking again, talking about the number of sheriff's department cars. Can we shift from, 3 this year, and 2 next year, or 3 next year, whatever, instead of 5? I mean, we've already got, are we getting some in drug money too?
Yeah, I'm getting 2 out of drug funds.
Yeah, so he's requesting 7 cars.
I'm requesting 8.
Well, He probably, anyway.
We need 5 new ones, right?
So five, I mean,
5 new cars.
5 new cars
Now,
plus
these
2
ones
drug
that I'm
cars.
having to take off is gonna be sold, so that money will go back to them. If that's what y'all approve. Ain't like
Well, you'll have money to buy another car then?
Depends on how much you bring.
Well, yeah.
See, these are not police packages that we're selling. They're everyday drivable citizens' cars. They're not police package cars.
Oh, these repos?
No. The prior administration bought these when they were in office. They're old 7, or old 9, 1, 2, I don't remember which old 9s, I think.
Lot miles?
150 plus.
Well, that's not too bad.
They're 4-wheel drives, but they're dollaring us to death.
Sheriff, how many did the sheriff's department purchase in 2015, 16? How many vehicles, 2015, 16?
I got 2 trucks out of the drug fund.
2 trucks. Were they 2014 or 13 models?
One of them was 14, I think the other one was 13.
Okay, all right.
I believe that's right.
In your fleet, you only have 115, and 3 14s. I guess that's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, if we're down to 7.5, that'll be 1 car.
Hey, I need to clear something up too. I've had a lot of rumors. I've been cussed out a couple of times over it. I don't have no $50,000 vehicles in my property nowhere. I want to clear that up.
20-some odd thousand.
The rumors going around that certain people here are saying I've got $50,000 vehicle. The vehicle I've got's got a sticker on it of $38,000. I got it at government contract at $28,000. So if
I
somebody
don't
wants to
see
see
it
the
on your
paperwork,
list
I
that
don't-
would be $50,000.
I don't have one. Oh, I'd love to have one, but I don't have one.
All right.
That's before the sound system.
If we're,
Really?
if we're 7.5 off, how about 1 car?
I'm not sure where you get a cent and a half off. I'm
All
not-
right, if he gets his cars at 28,000, right?
Well, here's my point. You've got 8 cents in there right now, plus whatever you cut tonight. And the way I got it figured,
No,
if
we're
you,
10 cents.
well, if you fund everything, you're gonna have to have 25 cents in there.
James, what was your figures?
500,000 paid.
I know, but I-
That's funded all at one pop, though,
Yeah,
not a 3-year note.
yeah. Yeah, you said
No.
100.
Look, here's your payments on a 3-year note.
Okay, that's right.
Your one pops here to the left, that's what you're borrowing. Here's your payments. If you borrowed on 3 years, the only thing you could do is stretch it out over 5. So if you had 100, your payment right now, if you fund everything, $400,000, $525 next year. The only 2 that we've got right now is 113 principal on other loans payable, which is the jail, and 116 on principal on loans, which is the ambulance and different things. Everything in between there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 items, that's all the payment next year. So your payment's 400,000. And if you add 100 to it, just to make the payment, you gotta have 25 cents. If you fund everything. See what I'm saying?
Yes, that's right. I see. So we're back to the discussion about how much of it fund. And what length to put the payments on.
If you just make the 2 payments that we have right now, you're looking at, 229,000, so say 230.
What's dropping off this year?
Jim, I can't say.
Is there 4 dropping off this year?
I don't think there's that many, but there are a couple. I'm pretty sure there's an ambulance and something else. I just can't say off the top of my head.
I thought I had that, I've taken it out, I've got too many papers. Have you got that, Glenn? What note comes due this year?
I left that at home.
I'll let you home now.
Leave that one, I left it home.
Right, but the county commission is, they've approved the 75,000 for the rescue squad, correct?
That's right.
And what about the fire department, 125,000? Has that been approved?
Approved that last year, didn't
Yes.
I mean, I don't know, I'm just,
Well, it was approved, but see, last year's the year we could have.
no, I know, but that's what I'm saying is approved, okay, so those two,
In the other budget.
those two have been approved. You know, the rest of it is, okay. To me, you gotta act on those, the rescue squad and the fire department.
That's right.
All right, right here, I got the debt payment schedule,
Okay.
2016.
How many sets show? That's what I didn't bring.
Yeah, I think I know.
Can I ask a question while they're looking at that?
Yes, sir.
Down here on,
I got it now. I found mine. That's to show me what color it was.
general debt service, page 44 there. I'm curious, I was looking at this, down at the bottom at 82210, general government. It says interest on note sheriff's department. Is that where we done the capital outlay note?
I think that's correct.
Question. Since this is bringing in more money than we anticipated, can't they be taken out of that line item?
What, Sheriff, what money is going in there?
It's a litigation tax.
Litigation tax, okay.
I mean, I'm just curious, I'm just asking, because I don't know where you can or not.
There is
It's not showing
four
anything
litigation taxes.
for the 2 previous years, and I was just wondering how that was coming up for 16, 17.
And we talked about revenue in our first meeting, and Glenn has done some research on the revenue. The litigation taxes, all three of them, are down from the year before, so I'd be afraid to.
We're down to budget,
Yeah.
which is projected.
Yeah, down.
Well, I'm just curious how we're coming up with this $4,500.
That's a good question. That's a good question.
I mean, if you are anticipating borrowing this money to buy these new patrol cars, I can understand that. I mean, that's the only thing I come up with. I didn't know.
Only,
Because the 2 previous years showing ain't got nothing on it.
we'll let Ms. Diane check on that.
I think that's what it is.
They
Yeah,
anticipate.
the anticipated ones.
Okay.
I don't think it's anything in the past. Now, back to our repayment schedule on our debts. As Glenn and Jim Bush and others have said, we don't owe a lot of money, and we don't get to loan money. The ones that balances on them, high schools paid interest, ambulance service has got, the payment date on it is 1/16/2017, so that's 6 months from now. That last ambulance will be paid for. Then here's another ambulance service in November of this year. December this year, that's right. That's the sheriff's department. And your sheriff's department, the $50,000, you know, on the sheriff's department that we put on debt service to get that new stuff, it'll be paid for on December of this year. So that'll come off of debt service. That's a good thing.
4 out of the 5 will be paid off this year.
That's right. That's what you say, Jim?
Do what now?
4 out of the 5 on the top of this page that you
Be close to it.
will be paid off this year.
Right.
That's right.
That's a good thing.
Okay, back to the general debt service now. According to my figure in here, we're up to 258. And if we stay at 268, then we could put a dime in there instead of 8 cents. Now look, turn on the back of that page.
But you gotta have 19 cents.
That's what I'm saying, turn on the back of that page. To do everything we was doing, it's gonna be $219,000 out. And that's at 8. So you're gonna cut it down a little bit, but putting 10 in there. We're gonna have to cut somewhere else, or lengthen the payments out.
Okay, you can do that.
We're gonna have to cut somewhere else or lengthen the payment out. Let's just have y'all got a suggestion about the police cars again? You want to do 3 out of this fund, and then Darryl can do out of the drug fund as he gets more in the drug fund. That will cut that down, and then lengthen the payment. Can we lengthen the payments on all of them out to,
We hadn't borrowed any of it yet, we can do it for 5 years.
do it 5
You're
years?
talking about the new ones?
Yeah, all the new things. Do it for 5 instead of 3.
Nah, I just told them to
It's
figure it
just
at
with
3.
everything in there.
Yeah, that's with everything in there, and that's paying them in 3 years. Now, no, you know, and these are not things that are gonna wear out in 3 years. We're gonna have them for a long time to come. The rescue squad is replacing a 1970 what? 78 truck with it.
78 or 79.
So we're not gonna, you know, we're not gonna be hurting ourselves to do our part of it in 5 years, and they've raised the other money. So I wouldn't feel bad about putting 5 years on that
5 years instead of 3.
and that would loosen up enough to make that.
And then.
Is that acceptable, Mr. Gannon?
Sir?
On the fire truck, length it to 5 years, 2 more years from 3?
That's up to y'all, yeah.
Is that, you think that would be?
Well, what about, I think so.
Well, all right, how much money we're loosening up?
Your life
At the end of this
of
fiscal
a
year.
fire truck, the way we use it's 20 years plus, so that would be fine, I would think.
Y'all operating with the 70-something model now.
What was the total on what was gonna be released up at the end of this year? Mark?
The total
Yep.
at the end of this year, 23, and 39, and 31, and 18. So that's 40, 70, almost $100,000
All right, so,
at the end of this year.
so when we loosen that up, that throws an extra 100 back in. So we can, you know, either pay some more, you know, pay some off or.
After we can pay a 5-year note off early, that's what you're saying?
Right.
Okay. Okay. Do you want to go from 150 on the sheriff's note down to let's say if you went from 5 to 3, is that what y'all want to do now? I want y'all, somebody to say what you want to do on the biggest one first.
I mean, he's gonna have to have the equipment.
Well, 3 now and then 2 later. After we get these other 2 lumps, see, that'll loosen up money, and we can buy the other 2 sheriff's cars. See what I'm saying? When we get these other things, then go 3. Okay, you gonna make that motion, or you agree with 3? Brent, you say 3?
How much is 3?
Be 120.
150.
5 is 150.
5 is 150.
3 would be 90.
90.
And you stretch 90 after 5 years.
Well, you know,
So you got 3 you could rotate out, Darryl, or, I mean, you got
Do
5?
what?
You got 3 you wanna rotate out, or how do you do that? You ask for.
I'm
8,
fixing to
went
take
down
5 off the road.
So you got 5.
I got to, they're dangerous.
Got 5 off, coming off,
Got to, I ain't got no choice.
then we replace you with 3, so you only get 3 back when you take 5 off.
Well, he's gonna buy it.
He's got to buy 2 out of drug fund now.
I'll give him 5.
They're getting 5.
Right.
What do you do with the old one?
They're gonna go deals. They opened up for public bids across the nation.
Where's that money go to?
goes back to general fund.
That goes back in the general fund. Okay, that's fair. That'd be 90 on that. Fire department, now the fire board chairman, is that Michael? He's got an idea that they can get some trucks even cheaper than those others that we talked about. I don't know if that would come around. Rutherford County, but it hadn't come true yet.
Yeah.
I don't know.
A lot better trucks.
Newer trucks, cheaper money.
Cheaper money.
Okay. So, we might not have to spend the whole 125. Or borrow the whole 125. Okay. I'm gonna do some quick
What,
figure.
you just want to estimate 100 maybe on
I don't think so
No,
yet.
we don't want to cut,
I don't think so yet.
there? Not yet, not until we.
not that we know just exactly what we're.
Yeah, we're obligated to those guys.
I thought it was about the fire department, we were obligated to the rescue squad.
We've given our word anyway.
Well, yeah, as far as the vote goes, it went vote, I mean, the commission, they vote for that.
Yeah.
Then we couldn't pay. Right. If we got that 100,000 that we know that's gonna be coming back at the end of the year, why don't we just go ahead and do the sheriff's department, because we got that 100,000 patent.
Let's wait till we get that before we do it.
I mean,
We've bought cars in the middle of the year plenty of times, haven't we, Darrell? In the middle of the year.
Out of my drug fund.
And other things, too. Yes, that's right. Nothing would stop us from doing that then.
What are you thinking on the courthouse?
I think we ought to do it.
No, but I'm talking about the spread.
Spreading it out to 5 years. I'm figuring on spreading that thing out to 5 years right now.
Okay.
20.
That's okay. That's why I
Spreading out to 5 years will save us $80,000.
It's 4 cents.
According to my figure, when I didn't do it with the calculator, spreading it out to 5 years will save us $80,000 per year.
Per year?
So we'll see. That's doing the, now you want to spread them out to 5 and go back to 3, spread that 5 years and go to 3 cars. Is that what you want to do, Jim?
well, I mean.
I thought that's what you suggested, spreading out to 5. You suggest spreading out to 5?
No, I said go ahead and give him the 5 and spread it out to 5.
Spread, all right, I misunderstood. Well, I'd rather spread it out to 5 and give him 3 now, and then we'll be safe.
I agree.
What do you think, Brent? You make that motion?
Richie's already made it.
Oh, Richie's already made it?
Yes, I
Okay,
agree.
Brent, you second it then. Okay. So we're gonna spread them out to 5 years. We're gonna do the rescue squad, the fire department, the sheriff's department, and they'll be at 90 instead of 150. And then the courthouse repairs, and it could be cheaper than 60,000, couldn't it, Mike?
I doubt it.
Could be, yeah.
It needs more.
Yeah.
Could be more, that's right.
It needs more. It'll be more.
Well, we'll do
It won't
60.
be less.
We'll do 60 at a time then. Okay. And then the ambulance remount. That's moving all those out to 5 years instead of 3. Okay.
If you want to put the courthouse off, we put it off 2 or 3
No, I
years.
don't think
We put it off long
We
enough.
put it off for a year anyway.
Piece of concrete fall off, knock somebody in the head, and
Yeah.
there'll be a lawsuit about it. Okay. Now, we're funding it at, instead of 8 cents, we're funding it at how many cents? 10?
Got it down.
We're funding it at 10, and we're running those down. We need to see what those numbers.
That's 10.
Yes,
10.8 to 10.
0.8 to 10.
Right back to 268.
We're right back to 268.
And that's nothing going into education debt service.
Right.
What's 600?
Well,
600.
they already got $600,000.
Yeah, going into it.
Plus the 250.
And it's out of everybody that drives a vehicle in this county. That's a lot going in there.
Plus the
But the
250.
payback's not in there.
Plus the
No,
payback.
no,
It's
plus
not-
100,000 if we
Yeah.
want the payback there.
No, the 100,000, see, it's not in there, that's another nickel.
No, it's not in either, but
That's why I'm saying it's not there.
as an expense or receivable.
All right. Mike, what do you, they have, now you told them that we were gonna do it in
10 years.
10 years, right?
I told, let me tell you what I told them. I talked to my contact down there. She said, send me a formal request in the form of a letter. We did. We requested paying it off in 10 years because of the large amount that's going into the debt service school fund. Now, I told her I was pretty sure the debt would be paid off long before that. We were gonna pay it off early, but we knew we would still have to pay that back, but to give us, since it was that. So she presented to a committee. I didn't know that, but they do a committee type thing, and she sent me back an email today and said, send us a payment schedule, something else. Oh, and where the money's coming from.
So we have to do a proposal of a tax increase, at least to do that.
No.
Unless we cut the new debt back. Cause I don't know, we can play long with that debt out there. We're gonna get penalized on that too.
That's right.
You asked in my opinion,
Yeah,
they won't ever pass it.
so they'll
That
want,
part of you budget.
they won't never pass.
No, you gotta have 12 cents to pay those two.
Right.
11 and a half.
Yeah, I'm saying that we got to pay back.
You're gonna have to pay back a nickel for the other.
Right.
That's
At least the next.
When we moved the rate up to 5 instead of 3, we saved $80,000. That's 4 cents.
You gotta have 11 and a half to pay the two that, the jail and what was, maybe, I don't know if it's Amazon or what, you gotta have 11 and a half to make that pay next year.
That's right.
You gotta have, well, wait a minute, there's some comes in the form of, let me find it, some comes in the form of, Darrell, isn't that one fund where they, litigation tax, you remember when you done the 125,000 to the jail or whatever that was, you know, we passed a litigation tax then, and it was at one time bringing in more than enough to pay for it. Is it still doing that, or do you know?
Last time I checked, it was.
Okay,
We
you
had
got
a-